going live, and now we are live. Okay. So people, as you know, I'm Philip, and this is the 6 a.m. meeting, and it's crowded today as well as the other days. We are gonna talk about goals, and we are going to talk about goals in English, 100% in English. This is not a class, this is immersion. It's definitely not a class, and we are here to learn, but we are gonna do that by speaking a lot. Okay, so we have like 90 people here, so I'll need to split you out in small rooms, two rooms. And to start with, I'm going to I'm gonna give you the questions. And if you all have access to our website as a pro plan student, you can have access to the planner and get the access to the questions before we start. Okay, I'll ask you to present yourself. So do it. It's really important to present yourself. And well, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 rooms today. 3 rooms. That's good. So let me see it. Okay, so 3 rooms, and one of them is going to be here with me in the main room. The other rooms, please, just present yourself. In the end of the meeting, I'm gonna ask you one person of each room to summarize what happened in the meeting. So the last 10 minutes, we're gonna do this. We are doing this exercise here at 6 a.m. and it's been great to develop some critical thinking, and especially to, to develop this ability to tell what happened in the meeting. So one room is going to be with me, and the other 2, please present yourself first, and then one person needs to be kind of the volunteer of the room to lead the conversation. Okay, any questions? So far so good. So let's do it. Okay, enjoy, have fun, see ya. Angelo, Sandra, and Leandro, the boys in town. So let's go ahead. Let's present ourselves. And Angelo, go ahead. Present yourself first, please.
Okay, of course. Let's go. My name is Angelo Silva. I'm 37 years old. I'm married. I live in Lisbon, Portugal, but I came from São Paulo, Guarulhos, exactly. I work here. I stay here because I received one opportunity to work here with technology, specifically network security, help companies to be safe all the time. But I have projects in Brazil with technology too. I'm consulting other companies, help other companies consult about technology area, exactly network security. And I like running, walking. I like reading sometimes as a possible. I like to stay with my family, go tripping some place here, Portugal, because I understand more about this country. And that's it. That's it for me. It's okay.
Very good, Angelo. Good to meet you. I guess it's the first time we talk in here.
Thank you.
So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not in my best shape or energy because I woke up 10 minutes ago. So sorry about that. Yesterday we had a live about the basic course that we have just started. That's going to start next week for Spanish, French, and English. This basic course is gonna take place every week. It's going to be live with a group of students. We have a instructor, like a teacher, and it's gonna last 4 months. So if you have a chance to take a look, just go to the website and a pop-up will show up and you can subscribe. If you're a pro student, you're not going to pay anything. Okay, so, but it's a course to take place for students from scratch that want to learn from scratch, from zero. Okay.
Okay.
Sandro, my friend, go ahead. What about you? Present yourself, please.
Hello, good morning, guys. Well, I am 45 years old. I work as actually as a IT manager in a national company, Brazilian company. I work with IT since 1998, and I'm here to share with us, talk about goals, and I really like this topic. I think it's very important to have goals, to achieve goals. It's very important for our self-esteem and for our life.
Very nice, very nice. And Leandro,
Good morning, guys. I live in Santo André, São Paulo. I have some goals. I guess it's more about grow up with my knowledge, my financial security, have good health, I guess. My free time, I try to make some activities now to be better with health. I like to read to become more actualized about the many subjects. And I try get a job on my area, new area that I studying. I study for technology, and I'm here to improve to English too. All days I study a few times about English, and that's it about me.
very good, very good. So, Leandro, I'm gonna just start with you. The last one to present, the first one to start to answer. And when I think about goals, I think it's a good exercise, and it's not an easy one to think about what's the biggest goal we have in life, and if you have really clear, or even if you don't, how do you manage to achieve it? What do you have in mind to achieve your biggest goal, or what you're going to do, or what are you already doing about it? So do you have a goal that you're willing to achieve, that it's really clear to you, it's in front of yourself? And what is it? Would you mind sharing a little bit and what you're doing? Or if you don't have, just explain like if it's important to you to have it or to not have it. So just go ahead.
Okay, I have some goals. I don't know if is my biggest. But I would like buy a home, a house, I guess. And for this, I need save money and grow up in my career. I I have the other is become more it's not a is a big goal too, but it's not so far. I guess is become fluent more in English. I can speak a few here, but I would like to speak more and more uh, it's a goal, no, is a new goal, I guess. I developed that and since 2022, I guess, 2021, was not my biggest goal. I guess was a small goal or something like that. Yeah, I try. I study more nowadays to get this goal. Yeah, I study for become more have more abilities so on my career. I guess this is what's more important for me now to achieve my goals, my big goals. I guess it.
Very good. And regarding English, I guess you're doing a great job, by the way, because if you think about like a year ago, and comparing to now, you're just speaking English, right? So that's it, basically. Easy peasy.
Thank you. It's
And
not,
you,
it's
son?
not easy.
Yeah, not easy. No, just
Not easy.
joking. Just joking. And you, son, what's your biggest goal in life? What's your planning or what you're doing?
Uh, all of us, the main goal is to be happy in life. I think it's the main point. But to define what to do to be happy, I think is the key question, because you have to know yourself. It's a self knowledge that nobody, everybody could do, but it's hard to look inside yourself to define what you like, and to discover. Sometimes you have to discover what your values, what you like and what you don't like to. And well, I have my life is moved by goals. I have goals, professionally speaking, personally speaking, and in all areas in my life. And it is, I am a coach. I'm a coach, and since 2017, and I discovered a method to define goals, to create a roadmap, and to achieve goals. And it's very clear for me that it works a lot. It works a lot. And but you have to create a plan, to define a plan. I think it's and well-defined actions to achieve this goal. I think then you can materialize, achieve your goals in life.
Great. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, especially what are the key points or things that you think it's important, like no matter the goal we have, but some things that should work for other people. Okay. And Angelo, what about your goals? Do you have any? You don't, and what you're doing around it?
Of course. I think I have goals since I born. For me, it's interesting to talk about the situations. I grew up in a poor neighborhood and with my parents. And for me, it's think about goals is impossible in this time because people's not talking more about the situations. Principal people when who stay in the comfortable situations is it's difficult. People talk about these goals, this achieve for another people. Principal, if you know about these people, it's common. But for me, I think I have idea about situations. Be careful what you wish for, because your mind is very strong. It's very intuitive. If you think about good things, it's possible you go these things. If you think about bad things, it's possible you goals too. For me, goals is about life, is about grow up, is about understand more about the life, it's about happy with, like Sandro said, it's time. But I have a simple goal for my parents. It's buy a house for them, because it's difficult nowadays. I help you. I help us to live. In Brazil has a lot of bad situations about the money, about the directions, because political problems. I understand. I not stay here because I not love Brazil. I love Brazil. Brazil is a good place to live, but in some situations you need goals for your goals. Your becomes your child. For me, here it's the next step for me. I need to talk in English. It's happy to talk about, because 1 year ago I completely beginning in English. I not talk in English. I only understand some words and start my journey. It's for me. It's the biggest goals for me. Speaking English. I start my journey with English. I understand a little bit one words here, another there, and some situations. Okay, I need to change my life now, and I start with listen a lot. I stay all the time with my headphone in my for listening podcasts, audiobooks about situations, and I read it more and more and more. And I know about the talk is in December, and I start to hear. For me, it's a goals, the best goals in my life, because if I talk English, I understand more about some situations. For no have traduction in Portuguese, for me is best way. In technology area principle, because here it's the only English all the time for you explain some situations in your work, and that's it, guys. It's good. It's good the topics to talk about. I have a lot of situations for talk with you, but that's it. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. It's really good to hear people sharing stuff, about goals and what they are already doing. About myself, I think my biggest goal is really to turn the talk community the biggest community in the world. And when I mean the biggest, it means the way we do, when we bring the student as the main character of the process. So that's why we have these immersions. So we don't have teachers to teach you. Like, we have just started teaching with classes on YouTube and also the basic course and other stuff. But basically, it's not going to work out for you to speak if you're just studying, especially in a language. You need to speak. And people are not willing to speak. That's the challenge. And it's funny because people tell every time, oh, I'm tired of classes. I'm tired of the traditional way. I'm tired of grammar. But when you start speaking, oh, where's grammar? Where's teaching? Where's the PDF? So it's crazy. So if all of you are here and we have like almost 10 people, 6 a.m. in the morning, so it means something. And it's not easy to wake up early in the morning and to be here. So congrats, all of you. Sandro, talking about getting back to what you said first in your answer. In your answer. Don't know.
It's your answer.
But what are the things or the behavior, the mindset, or things that you see that can help people to achieve goals? So Do you have any ideas, any advice to share?
Yeah. I think first of all, we have to believe in ourselves. You have to believe in yourself that you are able to achieve your goals. Of course, you have to define realistic goals, first of all. Otherwise, you will give up in your actions. But when you define a realistic plan to achieve a realistic goal and believe in yourself, I think these two points is totally possible to be happy, to achieve your goals and to be happy.
Very good. Do you believe like believing in yourself, it's like the most important thing to do?
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
Very nice, very nice. And you, Angelo, do you agree? Like believing yourself is the first thing and the most important, or do you have something else that?
Yeah, I completely agree with Sandro. I listen about AJ Hughes. You know about AJ Hughes? AJ Hughes is a Russian teacher and has a internship plan to talk English. And you listen all the time, some parts of the history and interest history. And in some history, he's talk about the beliefs. Belief is the principal point if you needed or achieve one goals, in your life. For me, if you not believe you, who believe you? You know, because sometimes you have a family, you have a bubble around you, you have friends, you have a lot of situations around you, but people stay in your bubble, think in your goals, and sometimes not it's not shared this goal with other people. You not understand what you are proposing here in your life. It's only grow up in the morning, talk
Eat,
with
pay
some
bills.
people, eat the,
Yeah.
I show the short movie in TED Talk, and people talk about try one thing for 30 days. It's an
Yeah.
interesting situation, because you have one opportunity to live this life. You know, it's for me, it's more important to do. It's not have, you know, beliefs. It's for me, it's the biggest at this point. You know.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, I think believing, I'm just thinking now, believing it's really the first step. If you do not start believing, you have nothing after that. So it's interesting because like to start a business like Talk and Talk, it really started when I realized that it could be a business, Before that, it was just something, oh, I need some private students, so I'm gonna do this, and and after I realized I could see, oh, this is something else. So I started believing on it. Then it started to develop, to grow, and to get bigger. So yeah. Leandro, what do you think? Is believing the most important thing to do in order to achieve a goal, or do you think is there something else that you believe it's important?
Yeah, belief for me is the most important. You need believe in that the things that you can achieve. Because if you don't believe, who is believe in you? Yeah, I totally agree with Angelo and Sandro. You need to put your mind in believe and try to make things that become ready, become Real goals, like Sandro said, you need to pay attention with expectation. You need to have some beliefs more, I don't know, concretely, I guess. I guess this, because you need to have small goals to achieve, to put your mind in that you are good in this way that you are, I guess. Like I guess as a few recompense about things that you are getting. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, we need to have some kind of reward, right? To really feel it.
Yeah.
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 Very good. Do you people remember the first goal you had in life to achieve, like when you were a child? Do you remember something you wanted so hard, badly enough, that you started to fight for it? But fight in a good way, right? Not fighting with people, but fighting to achieve something. Can you remember what is it and what did you do exactly in order to accomplish? You remember, Angelo?
Yeah, of course. For me, is when I was a young adult, I get out with my home parents to go study another place, São Paulo, with my grandmother. I live with my grandmother, but in 1 year I need to get out the house to from grandmother to live alone with one home and live my life. For me, it's the biggest goals. I don't know, but for all the people, it's the biggest goal. Get out with your home parents for live your life, have your difficult situations. That's it for me. It's my first. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the first for everybody, but a lot of people have that, and I do believe this is an important move for a human being, to step out from your parents, from your family, really to start living your own life and developing yourself, right? Yeah, I didn't have this goal in life, like, oh, that I should move or that I should have my own place. But when I started to move myself, and I remember traveling and moving to US to work. It was the first time I really stepped out from my parents. And after that, I really realized how good was it. Not that it was comfortable, but it was good, And nowadays, I really see the importance of, moving out and to leave the comfort place that we have in our parents, that we get used to it in order to grow and to develop as adults, to be an adult for
Yeah.
real, to solve your own
For sure.
problems and your own stuff. Yeah. And Julian, what was the first goal you had in life that you can remember and that you can share with us?
Yeah, I don't remember my first goals. I guess when I was child, I buy my I buy my bicycle by myself because I need to save money for 1 year, I guess, because my parents give me a few money to have to have a lunch sometimes on schools, and I save my money to buy buy a bicycle. I guess it's my first goal because I don't receive a bike. I receive a money to do something. I don't know why, but I need to. I receive a. I have idea to get a bike, and I was my first. I guess I learn about that. If you need, if you want to have something, you need to make sacrifice. Okay, because if I spend a lot of money with other things, maybe I don't know. Maybe I receive a gift, one bike, but for me it's my first goal, I guess.
Nice. Very good one, by the way. Very good one. And you, Sandro, do you remember?
I think when my first goal, I studied in public schools, all the elementary school. But my parents always told me to study, to be a professional, to have a career. They always helped me to put this goal in my life. And once I lived near Osasco, and my parents always tried to put me in Bradesco Foundation to study there. And when I was to start the not the college, come on, the first step before college, I forgot the name.
The high school.
Yes, the high school. Bradesco has a test to join the Bradesco Foundation, and I slept in the line to get the subscription, and I studied very hard, and then I joined Bradesco Foundation, and I studied electrician. I was technician of electrician. And I think it was very nice to achieve this goal, because I started believing that it's possible to achieve your goals. I think it was one of the first steps I achieved it, and then I realized it was possible to be someone in life.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember mine, and I guess it was like applying to college in a public university. It was really the first goal I can recall. Like something that I truly wanted badly enough. So I started early, especially because of my parents. And then I had to study a lot and to get into university, to not pay, university. So I applied, and then I failed the first time when I tried, and then the second time I had to do an extra year to get into the university. And well, it was a good feeling when I achieved that. And it's funny because I was really smart. I felt really smart, wise, and everything. And then when I got into college, I felt like dumb that I didn't know anything. Yeah, yeah, it was terrible. But it was, yeah, I think it was the first goal I really had in life. And what about short and long terms? Do you have like short terms, and what do you think it's a short term? Is it like a month, a year, 2, 10 years? I don't know. And what about the long terms? And what can you think about it? Like the short and long terms that you can share for us here. Sandro, let's go with you first.
I consider short-term goals when you can, it's something you can achieve until a year, in a couple of months or until a year. And long-term goals, maybe 3 to 5 years about. I'm not used to create plans for 10 years. I think it's unrealistic. We don't know our life in tomorrow. Imagine 10 years. I think it's possible. You have to see a direction to have a major goal, maybe. But the actions, the plan, I think you have to be adaptable according to the situation.
Very nice. Yeah. I have something about long-term goals. I will share after all of you. Leandro, what's your thought on it? Short and long goals, sorry.
I agree with Sandro. Short goals, I guess, is like 1 year, maybe until 3 years. I guess is short. Don't know what's more the question.
No, what do you have like short-term goals? What
Yeah.
are
Okay. If I
long-term?
have short-term goals, I guess more like my formation is short. My graduation is in short-term goals, I guess, and I have this. I have some short-term goals is like get more knowledge about my area is, I guess, the short-term goals to achieve the biggest goals. Okay, is like some said, is it's like a compass. Yes, to have a compass is a point on Earth to achieve. You will constructing the way to have that. I guess it's about that. For me, I have a few goals short, like I said in the beginning, is grow up with English and get a new job and achieve some graduation, knowledge graduate. That, yes, that's it.
Very good. Yeah. And you, Angelo, do you have anything different or anything else that you want to add?
Yeah, it's a little bit different because my medial goals, I spent 9 years for doing my university because sometimes I need to stop it for pay my bills, pay my tax, and after that come to study. My university is very difficult in my life. I spent 9 years for doing that. For me, it's a long time, but not because it's not impossible. It's difficult university, but it's for me it's difficult to spend money for doing that, you know. And but I think it's short. It's 2-3 years. It's possible because 2-3 years is very quickly fast for me. And middle point is 5. It's possible, and 10 is realistic nowadays. And I achieved one goals in 2021. I go to Dubai. I take an exam for 80 hours for exam. I studied 3 years, and for doing that, it's very difficult for me because I stay in my 3 attempts. In my 3 attempts, I pass in the situations, for me is very difficult because I need to start talking English in short time. You know, I buy one course in the internet and I study because in this place talk only in English, and I go to take a exam for 80 hours. It's difficult exam, and talk all the time with the proctor for helping me in this exam. And for me, it's a short. For me, it's a short because my life changed in this point. You know, in technology area, it's very difficult because all the situations is short time. In 6 months, it's not more usual. You know, because the future is very near for you. You know, change all the time nowadays. ChatGPT for me, it's long time. For me, is after 10 years, but 10 years is possible. You have a goals like Leandro said about your university. But I understand what Sandro said because people all the time not focus in your goals and spend a lot of time for the simple goals, for example. Né? Simple goals is not to spend a lot of time for doing that. And if you not have a focus, if you said in the start with this talk, if you not have a focus like you when you start your talking, it's for us it's good, you know. Nowadays I stay here talk with you, but for you it's the short now because you have a lot of time to work in your company. Because it's not only in Brazil but around the world, you know. You know your goals is very big. You has a lot of a journey for you, but in your mind it's short too,
Yeah.
3, 4, 6 years. You know, for me is that.
Yeah, and when Sandra said about the long term, I do believe it's really if you plan too much longer, it's kind of a waste of time. But at the same time, I do believe it's important to have like light on long-term goals, just to understand where you're heading to, you know. I don't see that I need to have like very specific long-term goals, but like I know where I want to be in 10 years, you know, with my company, with my life, with everything I have in mind. And it's a good place to think, you know, though it's a highly percentage of possibility to not happen, because in 10 years I have no idea what's gonna happen exactly. But because I remember when I was working as a assistant analyst, I had a something in mind about the like starting an English school, and that should be different, but I had no idea that it was going to be like talk and the way it is right now. So yeah, but for example, this year I'm really focused on bringing talk to the world, and to bring more people from other places, from other countries, you know. So we are heading to keep not having teachers, but at the same time having like the support, creating a basic course for other languages, and preparing and setting up for people to start studying from scratch. So this is really like a short-term goal. In order to achieve a long-term goal, to have so we could have people from all other countries, at least each continent that we have on the planet. So basically, someone the idea is really to have on-site. The idea is really to have something like a couch surfing, you know, idea, where we have the community and we have people. So I live in São Paulo, and Leandro lives in, I don't know, like imagine that he lives in Russia, and then he's part of the community. So, and we are talking every day here, and we feel like, oh, we are friends. So we can exchange like places like, oh, Leandro comes here to an exchange culture trip, and then he's gonna stay in my couch, on my couch. I always confuse in on, whatever. So he stays here in my place. He doesn't pay anything, but talk is in the middle, like making the journey and the experience to be safe, to be cool, and things like that. So that's where I think about talk, really being more like a couch surfing experience, like the business model of the couch surfing. I know they have changed it a little, but yeah, having something like that.
Well, I have a question for you, Felipe.
Yeah.
I work in Itaú too, like you, but you said all the time about your have idea about talk, but what's your first time you think about talk? Because I study in Cambridge here in Lisbon. This is the same like talk, but talk is more interesting because it has a community. It's community support other people to talk more, and not have afraid about situations with talking. For me, it's good. It's very good. You stay here, but what the first time you think about talk about this situations or the situations is created in go away, it's to have a car, it's changing the wells with car in movement, and change this point, change this another point.
Yeah, I think I had the first insight about what we have now in 2020 when it started the pandemic, the COVID situation. Before that, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna create a school so people can learn and exchange the language, information, and stuff like that. But when I dropped, or when I quit the IT career, I had never had the thought to create talk the way it is now. So I started something not because a dream, but because I was uncomfortable with the situation I had in life. I didn't want to work with IT. I didn't want to have the life I had. I wanted to move, to change entirely and completely. That was the sparkle. And after that, okay, once I quit, what am I going to do now? So I put myself in a high risk. I do not recommend it. It's not safe. It's not sustainable. It's not cool. It's dangerous for your life. But it turned out to be what we have now. Fortunately, I'm still alive and we are here talking. Okay. So
Thank you.
for everybody else, we had like other two rooms, so I'm gonna choose one of you and one of the boys here in the main room, just to summarize what you talked. And I'm gonna ask Andrea, if you could share, like if you could summarize or bring highlights of what happened in your room, what would you share?
Yes, the topic was really good. The conversation, we talked about plans, about perspective in the future, about a little about the past, and the goals of the boys was really nice. I love it.
Very good, very good. What about you, Ju? What can you bring to us?
I was expected to ask for Rosalia.
No.
The conversation in our room was amazing. We talk a lot about goals and wishes, and I think most of people would like to be rich, but for me, for my reality, it's not so realistic goal. So, but we agree when you talk about long-term goals, everyone said a little bit about stay healthy, keep health, and it's a important thing to our future, because health, you don't pay, you don't buy health. So it get my attention, and everyone agreed that goals are important to keep focus, to be successful in your life. And you need it to have a purpose every day. And after that, we talk about dreams and the rich experience Rosaria and Arthur was sharing some moments. And it's all.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I think when we had, especially when we have people that we are used to talking like every single day, and I think there's a possibility to split people in 2 or 3, and then we can have more chance to talk. It doesn't happen like this when we have like people that we don't know if they can handle a conversation. So usually that's the reason why we keep like 4 to 5 people in a room. So when we know, and that's the leadership skill that we need to have. Once you're leading the conversation, you need to understand, oh, is it possible to have like rooms with 2 people or rooms with 3? Because it's a high risk of having mistakes, or the internet drops and people leave and everything. So, and then it turns out to be a bad experience. So I think it was a good one today. And just before we finish, Angelo, how can you share and summarize the meeting we have here? How can you share the highlights of our talk in the main room?
Talk about some things. It's very good to stay here. We talk about its possibilities, goals, because goals is very hard for our people. It's different for people, because people think there's different forms to achieve our goals. Sandro said about your plan, about your goals, internship plan for stay more focused in your goals. And Leandro, it's true. There's some situations, and I think about this point in my life all day, principle in the last years, because it's possible you have some goals and be happy all time, but the different form when people think about the situation is not about money, it's not about to be rich, it's not about to stay a lot of things in your home, try for another country, trip for another country. It's not about that. It's about your grow up. It's about your get up all the morning in your bed, and think, oh, I'm stay good, good healthy. I'm stay one family. I'm stay with around friends. Okay, it's possible. I be happy, and for me, it's the most goals. It's possible. Believe in your things. Believe in your creation. Believe in yourself. It's principal points we talk in our class today.
Very good. Yeah, I think believing in ourselves, it was really the key, and Sandra brought that smartly, and it was I think the highlights of the conversation. So we have the survey here, and just to ask you to spend like 5 seconds of your time just to give us a feedback from 1 to 10, and if you want to add suggestions, comments, or anything else, go ahead. We have just started the basic course, so if you want to apply, you can just go to, if you're a pro student, you can just, pro or premium student, you can just go to talkandtalk.com.br/cursos, and then you can have access. You can just choose and apply for one group. If you apply for more than one, you're going to be charged for the second and asked if you want to keep going. So this is a course for basic, really basic students. So all of you in here, you're not basic anymore. So I don't think in English, of course, but in Spanish and French, there's a possibility. And yeah, that's pretty much. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I did today. Thank you so much for Leandro, Sandro, Angelo, Aldebaran, Rosalia, Ju, Andrea, Bruno, and Arthur. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you back again tomorrow, same time, same place. And God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.